Right, good afternoon and welcome to our collective worship for today. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. It was the weather was a bit rubbish, and obviously we had lots of rain. And obviously some of you may have even had snow as well. I know we had a bit of snow. Sadly, not enough to build a snowman, but it was pretty good. So today's this week is going to have a theme based around it, because this week is Children's Mental Health Week, and we're going to find out a little bit more about that in today's collective worship, and we'll build on that, and we'll be looking at other things to do or related to that in our collective worship this week. So let's start as we would normally do, with sharing my screen. So I'll share the screen. There we go. So obviously we start as we always do with lighting the three candles. So we light these candles in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So as we talked about just then, this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and that's what we're going to be looking at. And obviously it's runs from the 1st to the 7th of February, but this year has a theme, and the theme is Express Yourself. And during this collective worship, we're going to get you to think a bit more about how expressing yourselves can help support and sort of help your mental health by doing it. So, Mental Health Awareness Week. Now, obviously, Mental Health Awareness Week is every year, so it's not just a special one just for this year. Mental health awareness comes every year, and it takes place during usually the first week in February. And the idea behind it is obviously the schools get involved. We do work about it. Some of your SOS work on a Friday afternoon, if you were in school normally, would be based around it. And it tries to help everyone just raise the profile with the idea of mental health and well-being and how to look after ourselves mentally. Because we do lots of things to make sure that we keep ourselves fit and healthy otherwise. And our mental health is no different. And it's one of those things that you need to practice. You need to exercise regularly in order for it to be effective. It's a bit like when you're practicing to play football or running a mile, or all of those sorts of things we do to keep your body healthy. We need to keep your mind healthy too. And that's what this week is all about, is raising the profile and getting you to think about what it is to look after your mental health, and more importantly, learning like strategies and techniques to think about that. And obviously, as I talked about it, this year's focus is about expressing yourself. And we're going to learn a little bit more, what do I mean by express yourself? And essentially, it's the things that make you you. So when we think about you, and if we took it, you as a person, what is it that makes you you? What is it that makes you special? Is it the fact that you may have pets or things like that? Is it the fact your family that makes you special? The toys and the things you like? For example, what makes me me, when I think about it, is I guess people would think about fact, I like cycling. So what makes me me is one of the things I like to do is go cycling and get fresh air, be outside. Those are the things that make me me. I like, just like this boy does, I like to have nice treats, and I've got a sweet tooth as well, and I like to drink tea. That makes me me. So we get to think about that, about what makes you you, because when we think about human beings, we're all unique. And we all like things and dislike things. Our hobbies and interests are all different, and there are things that we're proud of, and our strengths that we like to do, and all of those things make you who you are. Just like the fingerprints on your fingers, just like those, they're unique. You are unique, and that's what's really important, and that's what we need to celebrate, and that's what we'll be celebrating this week, is the fact that these things are what make you you, and that's a special thing to acknowledge. So we think about expressing ourselves. We can express who we are in lots of different ways. Now, lots of different people express themselves in different ways, and it could be that that maybe if you took a moment in your class, just think about ways in which others find out about you. Now, okay, could it be people know about you because you join a club or play a sport? Might it be that you like to spend time with others and share interests? Is that what could make you you? Could they find out with you because of the way you dress or your culture or your religion? Is that how we can find out about you? So some of these things we can see from the from the outside, these things that make you you. But we can also do it in our words and our actions. So other than just the way that we look, we come back here, these things that we can see from the outside, we can also do it through the words and the actions that we do. So it could be that when we're expressing our feelings and our thoughts is a great way to keep us fit and healthy in our minds. And it gives people the opportunity to support you and give you guidance and be kind to you if you're feeling in a certain way. Because obviously, if you go around being grumpy and horrible to everybody, um, if we don't stop to think about why you're being grumpy, then we just think that's the way you are and you're not a nice person. But it could be that actually there's things that you need to get off your chest. There are things that you're anxious about that's just making you grumpy or making you look like you're sad or something like that. And when we do it, it can help others to sort of to connect with us. So if we express the way we feel or how we're feeling through the words, and then we're able to talk about it, it can help us to connect with other people. And when we connect with them, it helps to sort of help us sort of fix ourselves and feel a bit better. And also those other people can give us support and advice when we've expressed that emotion. So if you are feeling um, even if you're feeling frustrated or something, rather than sitting there, if you're sharing those thoughts and feelings, we're able to do something about it. The people around you can help you. We can connect and do something about the way you are feeling. And obviously, some of the other things that people like to do is when we're feeling a bit low and we're not in a good place, it can really help to express ourselves in creative ways. And I know one of the things that I like to do is obviously you can do this with pens, but sometimes I like to do, you get those at the moment, very big is adult coloring books or coloring books. Those sorts of things can help you. One of the other things I like to do, play jigsaws, those sorts of things can help express ourselves in a creative way. And that's really important when it comes to trying to get out and help us when we're feeling a bit low. Now, there are lots of other ways that we can express ourselves, and I've got some slides coming up now which sort of helps you to understand a little bit more of the different types of things that we can do to express ourselves. And by doing so, it helps the way we feel. And when we come to it, in fact, let's just crack on with the screen, because when we look at this, lots of people can express themselves through art. I talked about the fact that you might just even just coloring in a coloring book. Maybe it's drawing pictures. Maybe it's just doing painting. Maybe it's making sculptures, maybe out of Play-Doh or things like that. And you can do creative things with photos and all sorts of things. Maybe it's expressing yourself through art. And the next one is something I use to express myself. Not drama, however, but you could do, if you were using drama, you could use drama to express yourself. Use sport, and that's like I talked about, with one of the things I like to do is go out on a cycle. That helps me to express myself. It helps me when I'm feeling a bit frustrated or I need to, sometimes when I'm even feeling really tired and sleepy and I just want to lie on the sofa. Getting me out on my bike, going for a cycle, wakes me up and rejuvenates the way I'm feeling. Not something I like to do. I'm not a very good dancer, so it's not something I can lean to. But lots of people can find dance a nice way of expressing. Whether you put on a good piece of music and listen to it, or whether you just like to dance about, that's the way you can use to express yourself. And some people do it with writing, and maybe you're writing poetry, maybe you're writing stories. As a child, I think I was always writing stories just to escape and put my ideas down onto paper. That's quite a nice one. And express yourself through music, which is one of the ones I do a lot. And that's probably one of the biggest things I use to help express myself. when I'm feeling a bit blue, whether I'm feeling happy. It's nice that I can pick up my guitar and I can play songs and just sort of lose myself in my music for a bit. And that's a really nice thing to do. But also, sometimes I like to listen to music to help me escape. And particularly when I'm doing jobs I don't like. For example, when I'm at the weekends, I tend to clean the house. And when I'm cleaning the house, I put my headphones on, listen to lots of really good music. Makes me feel good, it makes me feel happy. And then at the end of it, I've cleaned the house and that makes me feel good as well. So it's a double whammy. So we can do those sorts of things to express ourselves. And these sorts of, and like I said, we're all different and we're all unique. And these are different things that make you feel good. And as I said, there's a few in there that make me feel good. Dancing is not necessarily one that makes me feel good, but some people that might be the case. But as you can see, there's loads of ways that we can do that to create and express the way that we feel. But it's important that we're able to express something. It doesn't mean you have to be good at it. When I talked about the fact that I play the guitar, I'm not like an amazing guitarist. It doesn't mean I have to be amazing at it. And it might be if you like to play football, for example, or like to kick a ball about, like I was doing with Lydia at lunchtime. We're not amazing footballers, and I'm not an amazing footballer, but it's a nice thing to do, and it's a nice way of expressing being physical. Doing something that's active helps me, and that's something that might be something that you like to do. But it's important that we remember that we're all different, and all of these different things can make you feel good, and you should try them out. And obviously, also, it means that you don't have to perform for others. It's about doing something, and it's all about you. And when you're doing these things, and whether it's painting, dancing, playing music, listening to music, writing stories, writing poems, drawing pictures, whatever it may be, you must make sure that those things are that you're doing for you, and it's not about performing for somebody else. It's not about thinking, oh, I have to do some coloring because that's what people would expect. It's about making sure it's doing something that's going to be purposeful and meaningful to you and make you feel good. So let's think about why we might need to express our feelings and thoughts. So sometimes it's really difficult to express the way that we feel to people, and sometimes we need a little bit of help with that. It could be whether it's friendships or thoughts or something you don't want to share with somebody. It could all be all sorts of things, and it could make you feel uncomfortable with those feelings. And we all might feel that at some sort of time. So just before we go, just want you to have a reflect on those sorts of things. And just remember, expressing yourself is about being yourself, and it feels good what's best for you and what you're all comfortable doing. Remember, expressing yourself is about being yourself, and finding other ways to express yourself in the future, thinking about beyond that. What else can I do? What else would I like to try and do? But obviously, fundamentally, it's about being yourself. And obviously, when you're there and you're in a good place and you're happy, it's really nice to be able to express that and encourage other people to do the same. If that's something you like to do it. Make you feel happy. If you like to color and it makes you feel good, do some coloring. And obviously the girl here likes to sing. So if you want to sing out, sing out. So that's really the end of our collective worship today, just raising the awareness that this week is Mental Health Awareness Week. Think about what you can do when you go home, or if you're at home right now, and when you're finished with your screen, what can you do that's going to make you go and feel good, and it will help with sort of expressing the way you are feeling. If you've had a long day and you're tired, what could you do to wake you up? What can you do to help you switch off from all of that hard schoolwork? Is it doing some coloring? Is it singing, drawing, doing something like that? All right, so just before we go, if you'd like to, you could join us with a prayer. And it's, Dear God, we celebrate the ways in which we are different. Thank you that you have made each of us one-offs and that you love us. Our fingerprints are a reminder that we are unique. Help us to value and celebrate uniqueness of others. Help us to be comfortable with the difference and remember that deep down we're all the same inside and we're created in your image. Help us to be tolerant, understanding, and accepting. Help us to think, never to think that discrimination, hatred, and prejudice is okay. Give us the courage to challenge our prejudice we may hold. We help us to be able to open and become growing and more tolerant. Amen. All right, so I'll just stop sharing for a moment. So that was our collective worship for today. Like I said, we're going to be sticking with a theme this week. And then what's really nice is on Wednesday, we have a special guest joining us for our collective worship. I'm not going to tell you any more than that, but I'm looking forward to that special visitor in our collective worship on Wednesday. Well, take care, everyone. Have a good rest of the afternoon, and I shall see you back here tomorrow for another collective worship. Take care, everyone. Bye.